Hey y'all, welcome back. This is Michelle from Michelle's Empty Nest, and today I am taking part in a YouTube hop called Pinkfresh Fridays, and it's where a group of creative people get together and once a month on the fourth Friday share layouts using nothing but Pinkfresh Studio papers and embellishments. We can bring in like cut files and things like that, but the main meat of the layout is all from Pinkfresh Studio. I have a little of it in my stash. Well, let's be honest. I have quite a bit of it in my stash. So I thought this would be a good way to go through some of that. I love Pinkfresh Studio paper, their designs, the quality, the thickness of their papers. I love everything that I have from Pinkfresh Studio. It's hard to say that several times together in one little introduction. So let me tell you what I've got real quickly, and then I'm going to get you put on fast forward and we'll get it put together. So I do have just a piece of basil white cardstock to serve as my base for today. I could have used just a random piece of cardstock, but I just pulled out this basil. I have a piece of paper that I fussy cut from, it's from Just a Little Lovely, and it's called Hope. And I had this paper pulled for about a month to go along with these photos that I have. But on Joanne Bartel's YouTube hop, one of the ladies used this paper and fussy cut it. And I forgot to write her name down before I started the video, and I apologize for that, but I will put her name on the screen here so that you can see it, and I'll also say it in the voiceover when I get to that. But I thought it was genius that she cut it out. Due to the thickness of this paper, it was a little tough to get into some of those tight areas because it's just such good quality paper, but I think it was worth the hassle in the end. And then I have also everything is from Just a Little Lovely that I've pulled out so far. I don't know that I'm going to pull anything out other than that collection. We'll see. This paper was called Possibility, and I just cut off a 6-inch section, and it is going to go something like that. And I may cut off a little bit more of this green mixed media looking paper so that a little more of this one shows through on the background. Then I have 3 photos, and I like to use large photos from time to time. So I printed these out. It's been a while since I printed them. I don't remember. It was just kind of a random size, I think. They are about 5 by 10. So I just blew them up fairly large in Photoshop. And I like to have white borders around my photos. So I have these 3. And they're going to create a flip out. So they'll be like this. And this is my niece and nephew, Maddox and Mackenzie, a few years ago at the governor's mansion here in Georgia, where we go for the Easter egg hunt from time to time. So we took Mackenzie and Maddox and their mom with us on this particular Sunday. I also have the gold foiled acetate ephemera. It's beautiful. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to incorporate much into the layout just because of the size of the photos and what I've got going on over here that I don't want to cover up. But I've pulled some things just in case. I've got the wood accent stickers and the mixed embellishment pack. And some of these look like they've kind of fallen down in there, but it might even be more than one set of stuff down in there. But I did not start scrapbooking until 2020. This was created in 2019. So this was just something I picked up random bits and pieces of somewhere in my buying frenzy of 2020 that I did as I sat during the pandemic and watched videos and bought everything people were using. So that's what I have pulled to use. Again, I'm not sure this is going to be a very complicated or detailed layout with ephemera because of the real estate that I don't have. I will at the end, I think I'm going to show you how I do surgery on my sheet protectors or page protectors to make the flip out be interactive without having to pull the layout out of the sheet protector, page protector. So let's go ahead and get on fast forward and we'll get this one done. Let's do it. Okay, I'm going to start off by creating the hinge that's going to allow my photos to flip out. And I make these 2 inches wide and then about 1/4 to 1/2 inch shorter than the side that I want to flip out. So in this case, I made it to be about 9.5 for a 10-inch photo. If it was a smaller photo, I wouldn't do a 1/2 inch, I'd do maybe like 1/4 inch. But you'll see I put the hinge on the wrong side, and I use just regular plain copy paper because it creates less bulk. And because of that, it was not having a go at a second time of adding adhesive. So it was just ripping onto my adhesive roller. So I did have to cut another hinge to put that in place. And I always start with what's on the bottom first and then put what's going to be on the inside of the flip, and then I'll adhere the top photo onto the flip part. And I just kind of follow that same routine every time. And I've got something sticky. I don't know where it came from because I didn't think I had put that photo near anything sticky, but of course it's there. And so I use that little rubber scrubber tool and just, you know, if you go slow and carefully, it does okay. It doesn't get it all, but it's better than it sticking to the other photo. So now I'm going to take that base page of cardstock and put the 2 portions that are going to become my background. And I'm just kind of eyeballing it there, and I decided to cut off about 3/4 inch because I wanted a little bit more of those little painterly watercolor stripes to show through. And y'all, the colors match their outfits and the Easter Bunny outfits perfectly. I mean, it couldn't have been any better if I had tried. So when I was looking for what I was going to do for this hop, I saw this, I had these photos in mind, and I saw this paper and I thought it's just meant to be. So I'm trimming up the bottom just to make it all nice and neat down there. And then I'm going to turn my attention to those acetate pieces that have gold foil on them. And I was immediately drawn to this wreath piece. And so I've got it in place and I'm playing with some others, and I knew that I didn't want to do any tucking over there at the fussy cut area. Oh, and let me say, I did put the graphic up in the intro, but the lady who I watched fussy cut and got the inspiration to do that on this piece of paper was Donna from Scrapping in the Sticks, and I'll link her channel below as well if you want to go over and give her a check out and, you know, maybe follow her or like some of her videos as well. So I knew I didn't want to put anything like tucking and layering over at the fussy cut area. I wanted it to kind of speak for itself, other than these gold splatters. And I had to go get packages out of the rain. I forgot to turn my camera back on when I came back in, so that's why you didn't see me doing the gold splatters. So I decided to cut the wreath in half and just go really simple on the embellishments. And so I'm just using some of my Barely Art Precision Glue, is the liquid glue that I love the most. So I'm putting those wreath pieces in place, just double checking the placement there. And then I am going to get my photo adhered down. And the little, what did they call them? Wood accent stickers. The one that I chose to put on my photo says Happiness Blooms from Within. And I thought the colors were good. The floral was good. It had a little bit of that deeper purple that's in both of the wreath pieces. And since I don't really have like real clusters going on, it did give me a third something to kind of create that visual triangle on the front of my layout. And then I wanted to put some of these acetate pieces on these other photos as well, and just take up some of the dead space or the white space. So I liked this big one, and I'm just going to, you can't see, but I put 2 staples kind kind of in places that were a little inconspicuous, and then that's going to be inside the page protector, so there's not going to be any issue there. And then I have this one that I want to put on the inside there with the Chick-fil-A cows, and I thought, okay, I should have stapled this before I glued the photos together. But then I remembered that was kind of the same area that I was going to put this little wood accent piece, and so I just went ahead and stapled it right through my photo, and then added some foam squares to that little embellishment, and then I'm just going to pop it up there. And those adhesive squares that I use, they are foam squares from Scrapbook Adhesives by 3L, and they are my favorite. They come in all different shapes and thicknesses, sizes, multi-packs, so I love them. They're always linked down below in my description box. So then I thought I would include some of these. They're like enamel dots, but they're gold glitter, again, just to bring back in some of that gold. So I'm going to do 3 little groupings of 3 to kind of, you know, make it seem a little bit more like I've got clusters going on and that it's not quite so stark, but that's where I'm going to leave it right there. And in the outro, I'll explain why there's no title or journaling on here. So now I'm putting it in the page protector, and I'm going to grab over like a wet erase marker so that I can get it off easily, and just make a few little marks there. And then I'm going to take the layout out, and I have just a small cutting pad, and so I'm going to get it in a good straight place. It wasn't straight, so I'm fixing it here. And then you just line your ruler up and take an X-Acto knife or a craft knife, sorry for the headshot there, and just slit it right down there. Put your layout back in there, fish the flip out, and you're good to go, and it works perfectly every time. So that's going to finish me up. I'll be back here to talk to you in just a second. Okay, I'm going to call this one good right here. I love the fussy cut border with the gold splatters, just to bring some attention to it, but I did not want it to take away from the photo, so everything else is centered around the photo. I love having the big photos. I love having the flip out, making it truly interactive. I hope you enjoyed seeing how I cut up my sheet protectors or page protectors, whatever you want to call them. I do this often. I do it in Project Life a lot. When I'm on the back of a page and I want to have a flip up, you've got to cut a slit in that pocket. I've done it on all different sizes of pages, and it always works out very well. The key is just making sure that you do have some kind of little cutting mat so that, you know, obviously you don't cut through both sides of your page protector. So there's obviously not a title or journaling here. I could put my journaling on a tag or something and make a pocket, but this day we had a lot of wonderful photos, and we also did a couple of things after we left the mansion, and some fun things that we did together. And so there will be at least 4 pages, 4 12 by 12 pages in my album. Not necessarily a double layout, but just 4 pages or so that related to this day. So whatever's over here kind of as my introductory page on the left, there will be a title there and journaling for possibly both pages, and then journaling on the other pages about the other things that we did. So I did not worry about trying to squeeze it onto this layout because I already have, you know, most of my room taken up. So I appreciate you stopping by today so very much. Be sure to check out all the links down below for the people who are playing along in this hop. Leave them some love. Hopefully you might find someone new to follow. And if you enjoyed the video, I would love a thumbs up down below, and please consider hitting that subscribe button if you haven't already. I'll have some close-ups at the end as well as over on Instagram, where I would also love for you to follow me. And until I see you in the next video, take care of yourself, do something good for yourself, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.